What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick Noodles coming at you with yet another great video. I'm sorry I didn't really do that much Supreme content this week. I'm working on an update video that's kind of explaining where I'm going with this channel and my future plans for it. I'm still going to be doing streetwear, sneakers, and Supreme content, just in like a little bit of a different format, so stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it, and I'm very excited to see where this channel goes after that. But for today, we have to talk about this Warren Lotas dunk drama. It's kind of blowing up the sneaker community right now. And there's just been a lot of controversy with Warren Lotas in general over the last week or two. So let's go ahead and get started. If you don't know, Warren Lotas is an LA designer. He's known for doing vintage style pieces, paying tribute to the Lakers. He'll put a Laker jersey on a skeleton that's dunking. I think it's a pretty cool design. The only thing is he charges an arm and a leg, over $100 for some of these pieces. So I'm not really interested in dropping that much money, but I do appreciate those designs and I think they're fire. But what he's under controversy for and what he's being sued for are these Nike dunks that he just keeps pushing out, stealing OG colorways, putting his own swoosh on it, switching out the Nike for WL and calling it a day, also charging $300 and making his fans wait 2 or 3 months for them to get shipped out. So let's go ahead and just unpack everything that's going on with these dunks. So according to Complex News, Nike contends that it has suffered irreparable injury to its business and that its reputation will continue to be harmed until a permanent stop is put to Lotus's infringement. In addition to ending the lookalike releases, Nike is seeking 3 times the damages incurred, profits from Lotus's sales, and reimbursement of lawsuit and attorney fees. They're also pretty much requesting everything that Lotus uses to design these shoes, all the files and stuff that he uses. They are requesting that they be removed from his possession. So in short, Warren Lotas is pretty much screwed. I don't know how he's even going to try to fight Nike. He might even run away with all the money he's made for all we know. So what do I think about all of this? Let's start with each release that he's done. Now, the first dunk that he did was a red, black, and gray colorway. Very similar to a Chicago colorway, but not quite, he changed it up a little bit, changed the color blocking. And honestly, you might not even think that that was a Nike shoe just because Nike really hadn't done any dunks that looked just like that. Now, where he started to turn heads is where he did the Heineken dunk, where he pretty much stole the OG Heineken dunk colorway that Nike did way back in the early 2000s, slapped his Jason logo on it, switched the Nikes out for WLs, and called it a day. And honestly, I really thought about buying a pair of those just because they could resell down the line. However, I just didn't feel comfortable putting $300 down, waiting a few months to get it, and not even get it at all. In hindsight, I pretty much made the right decision, but I just wasn't comfortable, shelling out that much money when I could have invested that into something else. He went on this super long rampage on Instagram talking about his brand and how they use very high quality materials and how his shoes are produced under the same roof as Saint Laurent or some high-end designer brand. I don't know if that's true. I think it's capped, to be honest. So after that Heineken release, I think he realized he could pretty much just do this for any shoe and make a lot of money, which is what he did, because then he stole the Stussy design, again, put his logo on it, switched the Nikes for WLs, and called it a day. At this point, he's still charging $300 for a shoe, which I really don't understand, to be honest. I would pay $150 or $200 for these Max, but $300 is just, that's an insane amount of money. You could buy a legit pair of dunks for that money, so I don't really know why people were buying these knockoffs. And then the tip of the iceberg and what kind of started this whole chain of controversy videos and all that was the pigeon dunk that he did. And what was even more crazy about this release is that Jeff Staples pretty much gave him the nod of approval on Instagram with this design. Now, I don't know if they had collaborated with this or if Jeff Staples saw it and was okay, that's cool. It's whatever. I approve of it. We're not really sure. All we know is that, Jeff Staples had no problem with him putting the pigeon on the Warren Lotas dunk. And now Nike is pissed. They're coming back with a vengeance. So what do I think about all of this? Do I think Nike's in the right or do I think they're in the wrong? To be honest, I think they're in the right. I think that if Warren Lotas had just stopped after that first dunk or, try to do more original colorways other than just stealing Nike's OG colorways, I don't think Nike would have really cared. But the fact that he took 3 of the most OG coveted dunk designs, pretty much stole them exactly, didn't change the paneling at all, and just put his own logos on it, I think that's where Nike has a problem and where, a lot of people might get confused and say, is this a re-release of the OG design or is this a collaboration? And that's why I think Warren Lotas is pretty much screwed. His product just looks way too similar to the Nike one, especially because he didn't change the colorways at all. A lot of people are comparing his shoes to the Bapesta, and where I think the Bapesta is different is that they kind of, do their own colorways, do louder stuff, and push more collaborations. And at this point in time, the Bapesta is just so well established as its own thing that I don't think Nike's even going to bother trying to take them down. However, I would agree that the Bapesta, could be mistaken for an Air Force One. I honestly thought it was like some kind of Air Force One Bape collaboration when I first started getting into sneakers. I had no idea that it was its own thing, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. So, I'm not really sure why Nike hasn't tried to, sue them, because I do believe that the Bapesta could be mistaken for a Nike product, the same way that the Worn Lotus Dunk would be mistaken for a Nike product. However, I do think that they are better at, pushing out more unique designs. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen to people that bought shoes from like the past 3 releases. I would be very, very surprised if some of them get shipped out. The Heinekens probably have the best chance of getting to people, just because like those I think were bought in August or early September. I don't think that the Stussy ones or the Pigeon ones are going to be shipped out. I think those orders are going to be canceled because Warren Lotus is so screwed. He's going to owe Nike so much money. I don't even know who his lawyer is. If his lawyer gets him out of this case, then he's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. He needs to get like OJ Simpson's lawyer or whatever. I have no idea. I don't know who's the best in the lawyer game right now, but that's who he needs. Now, to anybody that has these dunks in hand from Warren Lotus, I think that the resale on them is going to skyrocket. I think this is very similar to what happened in CSGO when they had the M4A1 Howl skin. It was taken down for like copyright reasons. They didn't clear the artwork from whoever designed it, and because of that, it was taken off the market, but people that had the skin were allowed to keep it and like sell it. So now that thing sells for literally thousands of dollars, which is insane. And I see the same thing happening with these Warren Lotus dunks. They're kind of contraband. You're not going to be able to see them. No one's going to be making them anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if these things hit like over $1,000 or $2,000. So yeah, if you have one in hand, you're definitely winning right now, even though Warren Lotus is taking the L. Let me know what y'all think of this whole situation. Is Nike capping, or are they in the right? Did you actually buy a pair? And if so, like, what do you think is going to happen with that? Do you think you're going to get canceled? Have you already gotten canceled? I have no idea. We're just going to have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.